Howdy folks, Kaloth here. Since 2015, when I first started playing the game shortly after it released, I felt like there was one glaring omission in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and that is the Scout Trooper. It's always been my favorite trooper variant in Star Wars, and I've always felt like it needed to be added. Well, today is the day. We have our kit reveal for Scout Trooper. Gonna get into it here in a minute, and it looks amazing. On a personal note, I want to thank everybody who's been watching videos, who's been providing your comments, subscribing. We hit over 100 subscribers last week, which is exciting. I haven't put out a video in about 2 weeks due to some health issues that have been happening on my end that have kept me in bed and unable to talk very well. Doing a lot better now, so you can expect to start seeing more videos in the future. And this is a super exciting one to start off with, so let's get into it. Here she is in all her glory, and yes, it is a female Scout Trooper that's been added with the tags Support, Empire, Imperial Remnant, and Imperial Trooper. It looks amazing, right? I mean, if they're gonna do an indoor speeder bike raid, might as well. Like this is the last best opportunity to bring in Scout Troopers. So I'm so glad they did it. Key attributes. It's got a raid Omicron that's coming with the release of the raid. You'll notice we won't have that bit in the kit here. We're not going to really know what that does until we have more details about the raid. It's going to have an AoE dispel on enemies and dispel on allies. It has a lot of strong Imperial Remnant synergy, more than anything else has. Even Moff Gideon, who was the Imperial Remnant leader, his leader is actually a generic trooper lead, which is going to make sense as we go here, because they kind of buried the lead a little bit in that they announce in this that there is a new version of Moff Gideon coming to the game who's going to be an Imperial Remnant leader. Obviously, that seems to be where Scout Trooper is going to find her forever home. They say it's been a long time coming, but we finally got a 5th Imperial Remnant Trooper into the game, which it's true. This is the 5th Imperial Remnant. Again, I would say it's been an even longer time coming in that it's, the game's been out since 2015, and we haven't had Scout Trooper. With the upcoming Speeder Bike Pursuit raid, we would have been remiss to not include the Empire's Biker Scouts into the game. Awesome. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So let's take a look here. So, we'll just get into the kit. The basic is Prepared Shot. Deal physical damage to target enemy. Inflict accuracy down for 2 turns. If Scout Trooper is stealth, this attack scores a critical hit if possible. And then during Scout Trooper's turn, Imperial Trooper allies gain potency up for 1 turn. Imperial Remnant allies gain offense up for 1 turn. So Troopers are getting half of the effect. Imperial Remnant are getting both. They're getting potency up and offense up. I'm assuming they are Imperial Remnant and Imperial Troopers. All of them so far have been. Special 1, Imperial Precision, cooldown 3. Deal physical damage to target enemy, dispel all buffs on them, and inflict speed down for 2 turns. If Scout Trooper had accuracy up, the speed down can't be resisted, and if Scout Trooper is stealth, this attack can't be evaded. So, solid special, nothing to write home about yet. That's got a cooldown of 3. Here's where it gets interesting. Special 2, Strategic Assessment, 4-turn cooldown. Dispel all debuffs on all allies. Imperial Trooper allies gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Imperial Remnant allies gain speed up for 2 turns. Scout Trooper stealths for 2 turns. Call target other ally to assist, dealing 75% less damage. That in and of itself is strong, but we've still got more. Inflict expose and stagger on all enemies for 2 turns. Daze target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. And then if the ally in the leader slot is Imperial Remnant, allies gain advantage for 2 turns. Scout Trooper's Imperial Precision ability gains 40% bonus damage, stacking until the end of battle. Imperial Precision, by the way, is that special 1. So the more you're using special 2, you're going to be stacking bonus damage onto that special 1. And then the assisting ally is not affected by the damage penalty. So all that if the leader is Imperial Remnant, which Right now, that is only Moff Gideon. Again, they've already said that there's a new Gideon coming that's going to be Imperial Trooper leader as well. So, really strong special 2. This seems like what you're going to want to start with for the most part. The opening being able to dispel all the debuffs on all allies, do an AoE expose and an AoE stagger on the enemy team, as well as a targeted daze, which one thing they call out here, that daze is specifically to help Iden Versio handle Wampa a little better. An unresistible daze is kind of the nail in the coffin for our furry friend, the Wampa. Unique 1, Imperial Vanguard. This is a Zeta, also has that Omicron, which again, we're not going to have information on today. Whenever Scout Troopers critically hit, stealth for 2 turns, recover 5% health and protection, and then if the ally in the leader slot is Imperial Remnant, whenever an enemy begins their turn, Scout Trooper gains 10% turn meter, and whenever Scout Trooper has her turn meter removed, she gains 25% turn meter, max twice stacking at the end of the turn. If the ally in the leader slot is Imperial Remnant, and no other allies that use Emperor's Trap, that's worded a little weirdly, but if the ally is in the leader slot, if the ally in the leader slot is Imperial Remnant and there are no other allies that use Emperor's Trap is probably how I would have worded that. The allied leader gains 20% max health and speed. 20% max health, 20 speed. Whenever an Imperial Trooper ally begins a turn or attacks out of turn, all Imperial Trooper allies gain a stack of the Emperor's Trap until the start of the next enemy turn, non-Imperial Trooper allies' turn, or the end of battle. The Emperor's Trap can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And while Scout Trooper is active, Imperial Trooper allies have 10% crit chance, and Imperial Remnant allies have 10 speed. So, a lot to take in there. I think what they're trying to say here is that, A, for this to work, the ally in the leader slot has to be Imperial Remnant, which, again, that's going to be Gideon, either the existing one or the one that we know now is coming. And if there are no other allies that use Emperor's Trap, this is... I don't know that this necessarily means that there are any more allies that are using Emperor's Trap coming. I think this is more of just a very specific way of saying, don't run Piet with this squad. It's this unique. Most of it is not going to work if you have Piet, who can use Emperor's Trap, included on this squad. But in return for not having Piet, you're getting just a boatload of health, speed, and then up there at that top, having Scout Trooper be able to have this kind of incessant turn meter, right? You're not going to be able to stop her. When you remove turn meter, she's going to gain it. It looks super interesting to me. It looks like she's going to slot well under Veers. It looks like she's going to slot well under Iden, obviously, and then obviously the big call out is that new Gideon, which, if I can just go up here for a moment, what they said specifically when asked what is her utility outside of the raid, it says, while the Imperial Remnant squad is now complete, a new, stronger Gideon is on the way to lead. So, if you haven't seen Mandalorian Season 3, spoiler alert if you have, just click off of this. In Mandalorian Season 3, when they encounter Moff Gideon again, he is in kind of a full Mandalorian-inspired Beskar armor suit of his own. So, we've got BAM, Beskar Armor Mando. Of course, we have, other three-letter acronym, GAS and CAT and all that. Maybe this means we're going to get BAG, Beskar Armor Gideon, right? That seems to be the most logical place to take Gideon. There doesn't seem to be another really version of Gideon that you could bring to the game. So that's interesting. When that's coming, I don't know. I feels like we're definitely going to get Leia out of the way first. But Gideon towards the end of the year or maybe early next year. I've said to a number of people that I think 2024 is going to be the year of Star Wars TV show content in Galaxy of Heroes, because we don't have anything from Mando Season 3. We've got a lot missing from Mando Season 2, even Mando Season 1. We don't have anything from Bad Batch Season 2, don't have anything from Andor. Of course, in a couple of weeks, Ahsoka is going to come out, and that's going to bring a whole load of stuff, including probably a lot of Imperial Remnant, and probably a lot of New Republic. That may be a new tag that we're going to see, right? So if I had to just put my random guess out there, I think Moff Gideon is a strong candidate for a legendary event requiring Imperial Remnants that in turn will be needed for an eventual Imperial Remnant Galactic Legend, because I think the writing is on the wall that Grand Admiral Thrawn as an Imperial Remnant GL could be happening. I don't know that I expect it anytime soon, but this is definitely one of those, like, put this thought in the back of your mind, because this very well could be coming situations, right? So, Scout Trooper coming to the game. I don't know that they actually said it here, but I'm assuming this is a marquee. Again, you'll see the first post on the forums here. The question is, it's a girl? Yeah, it's a girl. Yeah, sure. I don't know why that would bother people, but if it does, sorry. But yeah, it's coming to the game. I'm assuming it's a marquee this week. We should be getting more news this week. Meathead said that he is working on a larger post coming to talk about some things that we'll probably have later in the week. So we'll be back, hopefully not later today, hopefully later in the week, to talk about that a little bit. And keep an eye out on the channel. Thank you for everything you guys have done so far. Thank you for the comments and the subscribes, the likes, all that. It all helps. Let me know what you want to see next, and may the Force be with you.